All right, folks, next up, this is Dan at ManyChat. We are talking about all the different cool features in ManyChat and best practices for using them. Right now, we're going to talk about the default reply feature, which is an interesting thing that we inherit from Facebook. This is basically just a catch all conversation starter when the bot doesn't really know what somebody's asking it, or it doesn't recognize any keywords, or there's no automations getting fired for some reason. This default reply will fire, and it's kind of helpful in some cases because sometimes people write random questions to you and you haven't accounted for what they're trying to do, and or they're writing to you in another language, and that happens all the time. And sometimes you need to kind of reinforce that you're speaking in a certain language, or that there are a few options that you can give them to show them what they can do with the bot as opposed to what they can't do. So let's go check out an implementation of this in real life. We are working on a ManyChat bot to promote this very course, Messenger Marketing and Chatbot Mastery. Super meta, hashtag meta. I thought that'd be a fun idea to try to figure out how to build this bot and teach at the same time. Get two birds stoned at once. Okay, let's go check out automations, which is where the default reply lives. We've already built that main menu, which is pretty cool, and hopefully we'll be able to check that out and see how it actually works. But let's go check out this default reply real quick. So the default reply is not the main menu and is not the greeting text. The default reply, again, is this thing that we will fire when somebody they type a bunch of stuff at your bot and your bot just doesn't know how to deal with it. So pretty simple. Let's jump in here and actually create a message. What I love to see in these default replies, and the default replies that I think work the best, are when you jump in here and you tell people what they can do with the bot, because the bot can't do everything. It can't answer all their questions. It can't make all their dreams come true, but it can do a few things. So in the case of this very course that we're working on, let's just go ahead and edit this message. And this default reply that you see right here is just, it's the one that we use it's like a default reply. This is in every account, and I'm just clicking around, just experimenting with buttons that do things because I'm a tinkerer. So starting step. This is what people are going to get when the bot doesn't understand what they're talking about. So let's just set some expectations. All right, let's take this generic copy out and let's just say, hey, we're thrilled you decided to join us on Messenger. And what we're going to do is, actually, this is interesting because we already have a button attached to this. This button is a reply button, and if somebody taps that, it'll trigger this action, and it'll send them this successful message. So what we want to do, actually, we're going to put a brand new text block up here and say this, because we are going to use that button block for something else. So we're going to say, hey, first name, curly Q brackets, yeah, hey, first name. Let's just copy and paste this to save some time. Here we go. And thrilled you decided to join us on Messenger. Let's give it a delay block. Typing for a couple seconds. Here are a few things you can do with this bot. You can talk to a human, of course, but we want to give them a bunch of other options too. Not a bunch, but a couple. Oh, this is cool. Who built this? Does this look familiar? Let's go look at our main menu and actually just clone our main menu a little bit into here. So we already thought about this, and we don't have to think too hard about things. So let's just, who built this? What is this? I love that. What is this? And let's do one more button. I think we can add one more button. Maybe it's just 3 buttons that we can add right now. And let's actually put this somewhere else, because I think this is not an appropriate place to put. Like, the first thing you want to do is see if you can automate a conversation, because you can't have everybody who types something off to your page expect to hear back from somebody right away. So let's just set the expectation that might not happen right away, and we're going to say, how do I get access? Because we've already done this in the main menu, why not just do it in the same order. What is this? Who built this? How do I get access? Look how it immediately shifts. Isn't this neat? This is just fun to play with. Look at this. It's beautiful. Okay. Here are a few things you can do with this bot. What is this? Who built this? How do I get access? So something cool that we can do is I think we might be able to reuse some of this content. So what we're going to do is we're going to click on this here, and we're going to say send a message. And what we can do, or we might actually, yeah, let's just do send a message, and we'll just clone some of this content over. All right. So let's edit the menu. What is this? Cool. So we might actually be able to do something called a go to flow here. Let me just see if this is going to make sense. So let's go ahead and grab this, go to, and this is going to, maybe we'll be able to access some of this content we've already created. Who built this? So which question is this? What is this? Let's go to flow. Oops, click too many. I'm just like so excited. What is this? Look at that. So I'm glad you asked, Dan. Select this flow. See, this go to flow node, this step rather, is so fun because if you create content in your bot, you should be able to reuse it in any flow, right? So this go to flow really helps with that. Who built this? Let's do another go to flow. And let's rename some of this because I think I want to meticulously name stuff. So we're going to say, what is this? And we will call it GTF, standing for go to flow, not any other slang. Let's do click to select a flow. Let's click there. Who built this? And select this flow. Neat. Who built this go to flow? And then we'll do one more. And we will say go to. And let's click on this. How do I get access? Select this flow. And just like that, we have created a brand new flow out of reused content, and it just happens so fast. We will say get access go to flow. And keep in mind that all of these go to flows, I mean, they're identical to what we created in the main menu. So all of the tags that we applied and all that stuff is also going to happen. So let's drag some of this stuff out of the way. It kind of got buried, and let's see what else we can do with this menu. Let's give it a long delay because this is a really clever way to do things. Just give it like 15 seconds. And let's ask a question. Did you get all your questions answered? First name. And what we'll do is we will give them quick replies. I like using quick replies. I think they're really pretty. Yes. Yes, thanks. And then we'll be polite on behalf of people. And we'll say, actually, no. And then a little sad face. These are so fun. And look how they show up right here in the card. And we'll just shoot a message when they say, yes, they got all their questions answered. All my questions are answered. Which means that our default reply works. The more people who click on that, the better. Wonderful first name. Look forward to chatting more later. Beautiful. And let's just clean this up a little bit. Actually, no. And this is where we can reuse this content from before these two things. And what we're going to do is we're going to say, actually, no. And this is going to trigger this action group, which is going to open a conversation in live chat, which is pretty clever. And not only that, but I not only want to open a conversation in live chat, but I want to notify admins. See, this is a pro feature. I'm an admin. This is some notification text that I can get sent right to my messenger or to my email if somebody clicks that button. So that's a good way to get somebody's attention on your team if somebody really needs some live chat support right now. Be careful with that because, again, live chat is a tricky beast to tame, and the more you tell people you're available, the more you need to be available. Otherwise, people get really upset with you, and then things can go south really fast. So, just a little bit of pro tip from running support teams in my life that I learned those lessons the hard way. Let's label this a little bit better and just say notify admin and open a live chat conversation. Do you see how simple the flow builder makes things to kind of visualize the flow of all these instruction sets that you're giving the bot? That's really what these are. These are instructions that you're giving the bot. It's like a visual programming interface if you really think about it. It's also a conversational design interface where you're literally designing conversations. And that's what's so cool about this is because you can really guide people down a conversational path to accomplish business goals, which is what this is all about. So let's look at the successful message. Okay, we're pinging Dan. Okay, just type your message. Okay, just notified the team that you need some live support. Gonna go ahead and type for 3 seconds. Go ahead and type any questions you have here and we'll get back to you live ASAP. Okay. That's basically all I want to do with this default reply. This is a pretty elaborate default reply compared to the default reply that we enable in every account. And I hope that you understand why I'm doing this. It's basically just to give people more chances to start conversations and engage with your bot. That's really what I'm trying to stress here in this course is if you want to win with messenger marketing in 2018, you need to think about engaging people, getting good information from people, and helping people make progress. And if you do that, you're going to have so many great results in Messenger. Publish, and okay, this default reply is actually ready to go and live. So, oh, it's not live yet because we haven't enabled it, but it is published. Let's go ahead and enable it. And that's pretty cool. So that should be it. Let's take a look at these stats because this is kind of an interesting piece. We have stats on everything. So if we'll tell you how many people this default reply is sent to, how many people it actually got delivered to, how many people opened it, and how many people clicked on each of these buttons and everything. So there's some wonderful data you're going to be able to get from this default reply. Hopefully this kind of explains what the default reply does. Man, it would be really cool if you could go to Flow Builder and actually let's just see if we can test this default reply. Let's go to Messenger. Well, actually, we'll test it in another video, I promise. I want you to be able to see live how this works, but I don't want to subscribe to this page yet because I want to show you what happens when somebody subscribes the first time in another video. So next time, I promise. Okay. Hopefully this has been useful to help you understand what default reply is. Look forward to seeing you in the next video.